Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and we are live for Friday Fun Live. Yay! It worked this time. I'm figuring this out even well, little by little each week. So thank you all for your patience. So good to be with you. So many people in the chat. I'm gonna say hey to you for just a minute, but before I do, I just wanted to mention that if you haven't already, please sign up or consider signing up for my newsletter. It's at bonniebaycrochet.com or just bonniebay.com. Will get you to the homepage to my website. And that's just where I basically a lot of what I'm going to be talking about today, a lot of it or some of it is written down. So if you're looking for links and things like that, it's already written down for you. It might be more convenient than trying to jot things down as we talk. But either way works. And just to let you know, I never share your information or my address, email list with anybody. I treasure my privacy and I want to honor yours as well. So, well, let me go ahead and say hello to everybody, or just as many as I can. Margita, so good to see you in the chat, and Love to Craft, waving back at you, my friend, and Kelly Hart. Sorry you're having some troubles there. Keep fighting, girl. Not with your sister, but keep fighting for that joy. Keep fighting, for what is good and right, for what you need to do, hon. And Sheila, good morning to you. Thank you for your sweet encouragement. I so appreciate that. And Kelly, I'm going to get to your question in just a bit about what the picture is about. I have a little more of a detailed explanation, and I'm going to get into that. I've got a pile of stuff right here that I'm going to just kind of get through in just a bit. So that answer is coming. And Miss Wanda, so good to see you from Bahama, North Carolina, and thank you for your prayers for everybody. We certainly need them. And Diane Hill, thank you. She says, my new favorite part of Friday. It's a beautiful day. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Diane. I'm so glad that you can be here with us. It's just a really good group of people here. Um, really nice folks. They're crocheters. They've got big hearts. They like to give things away and just bless others. So it's a really good family here. And Alana, not perfect, but just really, really, really good. So none of us are perfect, and I'm okay with that. Alana, so good to see you. She says, hope today is good for all of us. And Marie, my friend from Charleston, good to see you. And Mariela, hola, buenos dias. So good to see you in our chat. And Red Hooked, hey to you. Um, she's joining us from a beautiful, sunny Ravenna, Ohio. Wow. And Sheila, oh Sheila, I read your post a little bit earlier as I was preparing. Wow, she said it high from hot Texas reached 107 yesterday, going to be 105 today. It is just miserable. Ugh. Hard on my rheumatoid and fibromyalgia. Bad enough to have to get out to take husband to dialysis 3 times a week. Oh dear. I hope you have air conditioning in your car. Sheila, just stay hydrated, my friend. You know this will pass. This isn't going to be there forever. And I do remember spending a very hot summer. It was in July at the Rancho 3M. It's one of the charitable organizations that we support here with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and I've supported that long before I anyway got involved with the crochet business. But it's an orphanage in is it Guadalupe? I'm getting my terms mixed up, but it's a border city with the U.S. It's one of the poorest places I've ever been, and they have a fantastic work there for kids who have been orphaned, and it's also a Christian school for children. They educate children very well. My daughter Becky and I have been there, served a week on the compound in 100, the kind of temperatures that Sheila's talking about. 100, I remember 108 was a regular temperature in the shade. um, but that was quite an experience for both of us. So I have a little feel for what that is like. And when people say, "Oh, but it's a dry air," nonsense. It's like sticking your head in an oven. I'm sorry. And I'm from South Florida originally, so I know what heat is like. 108 degrees, even without humidity, is not fun. So Sheila, you take care of yourself and your husband, and I hope things cool down for you soon. I pray that we will get some rain there for you. And Mel's Kitchen, good morning from California. It looks like you're sweating it out too. I wonder if you're in Southern California. That would make a lot of sense if so. And thank you, Wanda. She's praying for relief for your area, Mel and Sheila. And thank you, Wanda, for the reminder. If you can hit that thumbs up, that would be great. That just extends our reach to, more people, maybe more crocheters who just want to sit and chat and enjoy a fun time with us. I'm getting a lot of messages here. Ooh, hold on a second. A bunch of things just jumped. And okay, we have Amy from Kansas. Hey, Amy. Yeah, Mel says this is a good idea. Mel's Kitchen says, be sure to change your AC filters. It makes a big difference. Yeah, it's like your system being able to breathe. So that's really, really important. And Elaine, hey to you, and Angie, and yeah, Kelly, you hang in there, girl. And Wanda, thank you for praying for Kelly. And let's see. Yeah, Kelly, pray for your sister. Just love her. Just love her. Don't retaliate, my friend. Just love her, and give her time. You never know. And just kindness works all the time. Well, most of the time. You know what I mean. Um, yeah, Sheila said, yeah, to Kelly, that's a bad feeling. Yeah, I get it. I experienced that more times than I even want to think about. I am moving on from that in my life. But yeah, this is a happy day. Let's just try to refocus, Kelly, and just try to enjoy the good folks in the chat. We love you here. And Francesca, good evening from India. Wow, that is a long way to be joining us from. I'm so glad that you're here. And Donna and Pam's Projects, yay, you did make it. And Yuchi from Germany, welcome, welcome, golly. And Sandra, my friend from Georgia, just hope you're all having a great Friday. Well, it just got a little bit better when I went live, just so I can visit with you all. And I have Stacy W. and Moon Rose Craft. Welcome, you guys, especially if you're new. We so appreciate you, taking time to join us today. And Christine from Ohio. And Johnny, it's good to see you in the chat. It's been a while. I know you're very busy. She says, sneaking on for a bit while I'm alone in the office. Ha ha ha. I won't tell. I promise. Nobody's going to know. And Mickey from steamy Florida. Oh, yeah. I know the drill there. I spent 18 years in South Florida, in Hialeah near Miami, down in Dade County, County of the Hanging Chad from many years ago, in case you guys are old enough to remember that. And Kaylin, so glad that you're joining us. And Diane, she says, glad you're back and hope you had a great time. Yeah, I was gone. I've been home a whole week already, although the time has gone so fast. I had a lot of work to be catching up on in my designs, and I'll show you that in just a second. Actually, let me go ahead and show you some things so that I don't want you guys to get bored. In case you missed it, the 1 hour, excuse me, the 1 hour baby, no, sorry, let me try that again. The 4 hour, a 1 hour baby blanket would be amazing, but I'm not sure it would look that great. This is a 4 hour baby blanket. And I used the Bernat blanket yarn called Perfect Phasing. That's what the PHASING on the phasing. And this blanket is now available on my channel. And it's doing really well for a summer release. I understand summers are just kind of, people have a lot more things to do than to sit inside and crochet. I totally get that. And I'm so glad that, especially after going through those years of COVID, I just expect the numbers to be lower just because people can get outside and be with each other. And that's such a beautiful thing and long, overdue for many of us. But anyway, so this blanket, nice and cushy. I showed it to you last week. Yes, it does have holes in it, but don't be afraid of that for babies. Somebody suggested last week that it does help to regulate the heat. Yes, it does. I didn't even think of that, but I have so many friends I've given baby blankets to for their babies at my church. And what they say is the kids, especially when they become a toddler, but they love the holes because they can put their fingers in it. And it's a very tactile stimulation thing, and a learning process for the kids. They can, weave their fingers in and out, and it makes it really easy to just stick your fingers in the holes and just carry this wherever you want to take it. Um, I know some kids call their blankets a blah blah. So it's easy to carry your blah blah around when you have holes. And this only takes 2 cakes of the yarn. So the cost before taxes is approximately $24 to $25 for a baby blanket using this particular yarn. Now, suppose you don't want to use this yarn. You don't want to have to run out and buy things because, like our friend in Texas, where it's 107, you just don't want to get out in the hot car to buy yarn. Okay, so you just want to use yarn for your stash. Let me show you what you can do. I made another blanket because that one was so fast. That actually took me less than 3 hours, but I'm labeling it the 4-hour baby blanket. Most of you could probably finish it in under 3 hours. If you're a beginner, expect a little bit more time, but you can get it done by the weekend. It's not a problem. Well, here is another blanket using the same pattern, and I used some of thinner phasing. It's a Bernat yarn. It's perfect phasing, but it's of a smaller consistency, but it is the same pattern. And I used a smaller hook. I matched the hook to the yarn. So if you wanted to even use, let's say, Red Heart Super Saver or Caron or whatever you may have that's extra in your stash, just match your crochet hook. Use the hook that you would normally use for that yarn. And you can add multiples of 18 to the original starting chain that I show in the video or in the written pattern. So if you just add multiples of 18, that will add, will continue the pattern onwards. Now, of course, you're going to have many more rows, but you can make this as long or as short as you want. If you even wanted to make it a full-size blanket for an adult or a lap blanket, you can certainly do that. You can just play with the multiples there of 18 and make it as long, as wide or as small, as long as short, do whatever you want. It's a very, very easy repeat pattern. And the edging is just simply the ribbing, front post, back post ribbing, which, if you follow me much by now, that's one of my favorite finishings for a lot of different things. And I think it's because it's just such a classic finish. You can just finish ponchos, sweaters, blankets, whatever with that. And let me go ahead and answer Kelly's question. This will be coming out a week from Monday. I'm going to have it up early. As soon as I get the pattern edited and looked over again, I'm going to be releasing the Celtic Weave and lace top or dress. And this is a closer look. And it does have an optional beaded trim. This is something that is added on after the fact. Okay, I'm going to show you a sample with some other yarn in just a minute that I haven't added that. And I think I'm going to do something different just to make it a little different. And as you can see, I did put a little tank top or, a little, what do you call those? Just a shirt underneath, because that makes it possible to show off the lace of this pattern. And this pattern can be a dress too. So let me show you that. I don't have the slip to show you, but it's the same lace pattern. And you can see this is 100% rustic silk, but the silk was very economical. It was a special kind of yarn, and all that information will be listed. So it's a much longer. So what you simply do is continue it on down. And I added some beaded trim at the bottom of the dress. And it's one of these designs where once you get past the yoke and the underarm section on both sides, and I do have instructions where you can make this and follow along. You can use the numbers in the design, but I also encourage that you use a shirt or something that fits you really well and compare it constantly. Once you get to this point, the distance, from underarm to underarm should be about the size of the bust, or maybe an inch or two more, just for ease. But the other thing is about this dress, It is sized, the sizing is kind of is I have it in 3 different sizes. So it's, small, medium, large, maybe 4 different sizes, and I think there's extra large 2X and then 3X, 4X, and the reason for that is, let me show you, there is a lot of ease. Ease is stretchability, so this stretches a lot, so it can cover, quite a few quite a range in sizes, if you know what I'm saying. So, and what's really nice about this is that it really fits to your shape. So it's not like wearing like a man's shirt that's just kind of Gilligan, but it's more like, ginger, if you remember the Gilligan's Islands reference, but it will fit. Oop, there's a little snag I need to take care of. So, this will fit to your size, but you do need to make sure that you have at least an inch or more. I would suggest a couple inches, just a little bit larger so that it's not, too uncomfortably tight. And again, there will be ease built into that. So that will be coming a week from Monday. And on that topic, I had this yarn. It's, let's see, I'll tell you what it is, but the yarn is no longer available. It's been in my stash a while. It's called Annie, and it's 100% cotton mercerized yarn. And what I decided to do with this, since it's still the summer and I've got 3 conferences coming up, I thought, I'm going to make me one of these in cotton. And so what I've done, there goes my hook. I am making this in this variegated yarn. Now it looks a little crazy. You can see the like kind of a moire pattern coming about, but it's actually kind of cool. I wasn't sure if I'd like that or not, and I knew it was going to be a little out there, a little crazy. But if you've got some, this is a number 2 weight yarn. Now the top I showed you is technically a number 3 weight yarn, but I recommend sticking with a number 2 or a number 1 weight yarn. Although the yarn that I showed you is a number 3, it really works up more like a number 2, but it will add, it does crochet up a little bit bigger than what this is doing, but this is nice. This is a number 2 weight, but again, the number 2 weight is very thin and it crochets up a lot like a number 1. So, I'm really looking forward to finishing this off. I may just do a different finish altogether. And you may notice that I didn't use lace. I just simply substituted the wattle stitch. I went through the pattern all the way until where the lace would start. And instead of doing the lace, I just simply did the wattle stitch. So this way, I'm not going to have to wear, any kind of a liner or anything underneath it, which would kind of heat me up. So this is just going to be 100% cotton. And I may be wearing this in a couple weeks when I go to Lancaster, Pennsylvania for the Interweave Conference. And since I'm mentioning that, let me get this out of the way. The Interweave Conference, let me go ahead and tell you about the classes I'll be teaching there. I will be teaching, they have whittled it down to 4 classes. Remember, I started out with 8, but they were having trouble filling they cut back a lot of classes from a lot of people. People are still transitioning from the COVID phase back to real life. So there is still some hesitancy to meet with people in person. So I understand that. And I think a lot of conferences are having this issue, but, don't be afraid. I mean, unless you have extreme physical, medical conditions, I would just get out there and enjoy life. I mean, not just because it supports me, but just because it just helps us all, mentally. And if you're looking for a way to be inspired in the craft, or just to be just really enjoy what you do and connect with other people, go to a conference. I mean, even if it's not one of the 3 that I'm going to mention in just a second, but get out there and go. It's worth it. It's so therapeutic, at least for me. And this is what I do for a living now. But I still there's nothing like connecting with people, especially since I'm pretty much working alone a lot of the time. Okay, Yarn Fest. I'm going to be there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, August 2nd through the 5th. And the classes are I Love Crochet Cables, Big and Bold Crochet Cables. Both of those are intermediate classes. fun crochet fabric for beginners. That's obviously a beginning class, but you do need to know the basic stitches already. And designing your own triangular scarf, which I'm recommending for intermediate. But really anybody can take that. But I think an intermediate crocheter, if you've been crocheting for a while, that would be more helpful because I am going to be talking a little bit about pattern writing. But if you're a beginner and you don't really know how to read patterns yet, you probably would want to at least have some proficiency in pattern reading for that. Then in later August, at the end, it's August 25th and 26th, although the conference is 24th through the 26th. I will be in Pittsburgh. It's actually in Green Tree, just outside of Pittsburgh. And I'll be teaching beginning knitting for crocheters. I'm really excited about this one because we're going to have fun with this one. And I love crochet cables and the big and bold cables. Those are both the two intermediate classes I mentioned, as well as the fun crochet fabric for beginners. So that, again, will be those classes. And then in September 14th through the 17th, I'm going to be in Irving, Texas for the DFW Fiber Fest. The classes I'll be teaching there, again, I love crochet cables, big and bold cables. And then 2 new classes, tassels, fringe, and other naughty trims, and then taking great photos of your crochet. Real excited about both of those. There will be a lot of fun. The taking great photos of your crochet can really be taken by anybody. You don't even have to be a crocheter to be in there, but just know that it's a very, it's going to be a basic photography class, but focused on how to take pictures, for social media, for, things where you want to share. And it's not as an automatic thing that everybody understands and knows. So if you want some pointers, we're going to have a lot of fun with it. I have some equipment that I'm going to be bringing, very, very affordable equipment that you might be interested in just getting your hands on and looking at if you're in Texas. So, so we're looking forward to seeing you at those. Let me go ahead. And Hannah has been sending me some questions. Okay. Okay, so Wanda was wondering about the poncho behind me. That is coming. That is coming in a few weeks. I'm still finalizing that. I still need to do some writing on this. Traveling really set me back on some of these designs, but this will be coming late summer, early fall. It's called the Inishmann Poncho. It's an updated release of an older design. There was an older design just like, well, exactly like this, except this has more. I made it longer. I made the panels longer and a bit wider, so it'll fit more of a variety of sizes. So, okay, Kelly wants to know how many skeins of yarn did it take to crochet the dress? Okay, let me look at that, Kelly. I can try to get the yardage for you because I wrote that pattern. Let me see what we got here. Okay, for that dress, I used yarn called Ella Ray's Rustic Silk. For the small, medium, and large sizes, you would need 4 hanks. For the extra large 2X size, you would need 5 hanks, and 6 hanks for the 3X, 4X sizes. And for the top, okay, and that yarn has 437 yards. Let me go ahead and do some math for you. So I've been doing math with Hannah, so I'll do math with you guys now. 437 times 4, for example, would be 1,748 yards. Of course, I didn't use all of that, but a little bit more than 1,700 yards for the small to large size, and just add 437 more to that for the other 2 sizes. The top, I used a yarn called Barocco Remix, which was it was recycled yarn. It was nice yarn, but I think if I were to do it again, I would do it with thinner yarn. And that took 432. So it's very close. 432 yards per skein. And how many did I put? Okay, 3. Okay, 3 of those. So it's roughly 1,300 yards for the top. 1,300 now for the small to large sizes. If you want larger, add another ball of yarn, which is another 400 or so um, yards to that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and quit that. So I hope that answers your question, Kelly. Yeah, for the baby blanket you showed, okay. Is it basket weave? Let me grab it again. No, it's actually not basket weave, but it's close. It is using the double crochet. I can show the middle part. Double crochet V stitch, so which is a double crochet, chain one, double crochet for the section with the holes. And the other section you have 9 stitches of front post double crochets with the front side facing, and then you'd be working back post double crochets when the back side's facing. So that's what that is. It's just simply post stitches. Okay, but good question. Yeah, it's very similar to what the basket weave would be. And from Amy, I've decided to try and make baskets with all that yarn I have instead of a blanket. Haven't started yet. Not sure what kind to make yet. Do I have any recommendations? Actually, I do. Um, what I've seen people do is they'll take stash yarn and they will, instead of crocheting with one strand, they will crochet with maybe 2 or even 3 strands of, let's say, of a worsted weight yarn. Let's say if you're using, let's say if you have a lot of red heart yarn left over, or I would definitely use something that's a little on the stiffer side, not super soft, just so that it'll hold up. I think cotton and nylon works really well for that. So cotton, do I have any cotton? Okay, here we go. Cotton yarn like you would get, on a spool like this, or it has, the smaller 3, 4 ounce or like 2 ounce little balls too. I think cotton works really well. Again, you might want to get a couple, 2 or 3 strands and crochet them together. I do know that Crochet World magazine. Do I have a copy? Hold on a second. Let me see if I have a copy of that. Well, where did I put it? It's over here. Okay. Crochet World magazine, I believe, had a couple of patterns for these. Should you be looking for some guidance on that? Let me look in the back. That's the trick about these magazines. If you just look in the back of them, you can get a real quick reference as to all the patterns that are in the magazine. So page 28. Okay. That'll save us from flipping through the whole thing. Oh, this is kind of cool. By Bendy Carter. Here's a project crochet basket, if that's something you're looking for. And she actually shows it in a couple different sizes here. So definitely check with crochet magazines. That's a very common thing to find, and you can just see what yarns they use. Personally, I've never really made a basket, believe it or not. I kind of like to use real baskets or other things, but that's a really good, a good idea. So definitely check out, if you have some older Crochet World magazines, just do a quick flip to the back and see if there are any in there, because that's a commonly recurring design in a lot of these magazines. Okay, and let me go ahead and put a plug in. If you're not a member of the Crochet Guild of America, this might be a good time to join if you want to get the Crochet World magazine, because they have recently switched, since Crochet magazine, the Crochet exclamation mark, it's a different magazine, has gone out of print. They are substituting the Crochet World magazine for the magazine that goes out to everybody. And the main difference will be they're going to be adding the chain link, which is the newsletter for Crochet Guild. That'll be in the center of the magazine where you can catch up on all the news. I think there's a link for that in the video description below. But if If not, you can always contact me, bonniebay@me.com, or you can just look up, I think the email is crochet.org on the guild. Okay. Well, let me go back, and I've done a lot of talking here. So let me check in to see how everybody is doing. Um, Ooh, I'm sorry if I'm so far behind here on this. And if I don't get to your comment, please, 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 it's nothing personal. It's just sometimes more comes in than I can really get to. Well, Diane, so glad you're here. And Kaylin, happy Friday to you too. And Christy, Wiley West, and oh, wow. Josie said, "Good morning, everyone. Today is my fiance's 30th birthday. He's spending the morning reading, so I'm joining you guys, then off to spend the rest of the day with him. How is everybody?" Oh, we're doing great, Josie. I hope you have a wonderful time with your fiance. Whew, 30. That's kind of funny to me because I guess that may seem old to you guys, but that's like half my age right now. So I'm like, woo, I can barely remember what it was like being 30. But wouldn't mind having that body that I had then back, even though I complained about it then. I'd take it, I'd swap it out. But as long as I could keep my 60-year-old brain, that would be the only disclaimer. Um, oh, Christy is from Florida. Good to have another Floridian in the chat always. And Randy from Silver Spring, hello. And Amy, thank you for joining us again, Amy. I'm so glad you could make it. And Janice, hello to you. And Emily, good to see you, Emily. And Emily, since Emily's name popped up, let me go ahead and show you some things that Emily sent me today. Here's Emily's sticker. That is her website, lambshopkits.com. The link is also in the video description below because they have completely redone their website. And her and her husband are dyeing their own yarn now. Look at this yarn she sent me. Is this not, I mean, this is just so beautiful, but the candy for the eye thing is just half of the experience. Let me tell you what this is made of. I am going to be using this in an upcoming design. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to need yet, but I do have plenty to finish this. Each of these is 100%, wait for it, baby alpaca. Yeah, this is like, this is probably one of my favorite fibers. This has 291 yards in this hank. It's a 3-ply sport weight yarn. The yarn comes from Peru, but it is hand dyed in the USA by Emily and her husband. So this is like really, really, really nice yarn. I'm really looking forward to designing with this. It'll be something coming probably later in the fall. Okay, so you're going to have to stay tuned for this. I know what it's going to look like. I already have the design, but we'll have to wait. All right. And while I'm doing yarn, oh, and again, that link is in the video description. So if you can just take a look at the site that she has. It is beautiful. The colors just really pop on those pages. So you and your husband did a fantastic job on that. And on Saturday, I went to So Original, to my local yarn store, which is actually 45 minutes away in Columbia, Maryland. And I got some more of another favorite yarn of mine. And people often ask me, what is your favorite yarn? It's really hard to answer that. It's like if someone asks you, what's your favorite food? And I'm like, well, I like a lot of different things. I like pizza. I like Italian food, but I like desserts. So, I mean, there's a lot, you know what I'm saying? So it depends on the category. The baby alpaca is definitely one of my favorite fibers in the world. And I do have a brand new poncho design coming this fall. I've held back on showing it to you, but it's coming this fall, made with a number 4 Aran weight alpaca, baby alpaca. But I think this has become some of my favorite yarn for designing scarves and shawls. And this is by Banshee Fiber Art Studio. I do have her link in the video description as well. And this is 60% superwash merino wool, 20% yak, and 20% silk. So this is definitely definitely a pricier blend. Each of these cost me $36. Yeah, this was not the budgetary kind of stuff. But I will say that I have made two scarves out of this particular blend of yarn. I have worn them more than any of the other scarves in my wardrobe, and they still look amazing. So the yarn holds up to wear, and just it's hard to see it unless you really touch it and see it in person, but this this particular blend, in my personal opinion, just takes the dye of the yarn in such a beautiful way, like nothing else. I mean, just really nice for jewel tones in yarn. So that's it on the yarn, and be looking for things to come in the future that will be of those colors, because they're definitely uh, swirling around in my brain and will be coming out the fingers very soon. All right. Um okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for that reminder, Hannah. And yes, there is one of our friends who is in the chat right now, Artse Mimosa de Ros. I'm probably saying that wrong. She is from Brazil. And I do have the link to her mom's, I think it's her channel or her mom's channel. And if you could please, I mean, you don't have to do this, but I'm just recommending, if you get a chance, to take a look at her channel. Even if you don't speak Portuguese, the the designs on her channel are gorgeous. It's a younger YouTube channel they're trying to build. Her mom is trying to use the AdSense revenues from YouTube to help provide for her autistic daughter. So who can say no to that, right? So if you get a chance at some point today, if you could go, the link is in the video description below. If you can just take a look at her channel, and if you feel inclined to subscribe, you know, that would really, I think, really bless them, and help to support them in a small way. So take a look at it. I mean, I don't like to be pushy or sales pitchy about anything. I just like to share what I enjoy, and I know you guys like to enjoy yarn and things like that. So anyway, if you get time today to check out her channel, please, please wave at her. Just maybe leave her a message through Google Translate. We can oftentimes talk to each other in different languages, which is amazing. Hannah, oftentimes, or she's during our live chat, she will be on the background, be translating some of these comments and then sending them to me so that I understand. And I think a lot of times she'll post in the chat what the translation is. So thank you for doing that, Hannah. And it's a brand new, it's a kind of a cool world in the fact that we can have more interaction with people and don't have to be blocked by language as much. So thank you, Google, for doing that. I really appreciate that. All right. I'm making my way through my list here. Yeah, they're doing okay, I think. So let me get back to saying hey to everybody. And I keep losing my place. And Kathy says, good morning, everyone from Oklahoma. Well, welcome, Kathy from Oklahoma, and Wanda, and to Moonrose Craft. And see, Wanda says, good morning, dear Bonnie. Oh, you are a blessing to me, Wanda. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you can join us um, today. And Kim Rich, you have a blessed day too. Yeah, Emily, we're glad to have you. Yeah, she says, I'm so excited that my schedule is finally slowing way down a lot. I'm back into yarn and craft land. Yeah, well, welcome back. The summer is nice for a lot of that. And Sabrine, thank you for joining us. And ooh. Oh my goodness. Archer and Ace, I just got your text here. Let me go ahead. Thank you so much for your kind contribution. Archer and Ace and Grace, thank you so much. That adds, wow, between the two of you, that's adding $30. I think that's going to push us over for a song for next week. Let me add this to my daily agenda. Yep, that pushes us to 100, my friend. All right. All right. Thank you so much. We will be on for a song for next week. And I think if I don't have a new one, I'll at least bring a rerun out um, for you. So for those of you who don't know, I don't advertise this, but for those of you who want to contribute to my channel through the super chat, like Archer and Ace, thank you, Terry, and Grace. And thank you. What I end up doing is I take all of those proceeds and I donate them to one of two or well actually three organizations. Our favorites are Shriners Hospital for Children, which I think this is where this is going to go this time, and then I also donate alternate between them and Rancho 3M. And occasionally, when things are doing well. It's been a little bit on. We're in the off season right now, but also I like Samaritan's Purse. They're a disaster relief organization that are active in all places in the world. Not just in places like the Ukraine, but also they oftentimes respond to U.S. disasters, caused by various events, weather events that we experience. All right. Um, so anyway, and let me also say, in case any of you are coming to the Interweave event in Lancaster, I had mentioned that I was going to be doing a music program in the marketplace. Well, unfortunately, I got word this week that I got bumped. They're sharing the platform with another. It's not just knit and crochet. They're bringing in a jewelry event as well. So I kind of got bumped from the program. So if I didn't mean to mislead you guys, I was prepared. I was preparing a program. There's a chance I might be able to do a program, a music parody song program in Dallas. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. And it's I'm fine if not. That's perfectly fine. It just means one less activity, and that just means more interaction with you guys. So, and I do still, I mean, for better or for worse, it's really for my, for those of you who don't know, I was a music major in college and I just still haven't been able to shake and get it out of my system. So occasionally a guitar shows up and we do stretches in between, the long 3-hour classes. We don't just sit for 3 straight hours. We'll do an hour. We will mandatory. You must get up and walk around and I'm going to sing to you. We're going to sing a silly song. So I will be still bringing my guitar with me when I travel to these events, and just hope they don't confiscate it from me at the airport this time like they did in Colorado last year. I did get it back, but I was not a happy camper. But anyway, that's a whole nother whole nother story that I told long time ago. Okay, so Hannah sent me another comment. She says, Bonnie, I'm in California and won't be able to make it to your classes. Do you have any tips you could share for this crocheter who really wants to learn to knit but finds it so frustrating? I do, Josie. I have videos on my YouTube channel. You have to go to the home page and click on playlist. And once you click on playlist, look for beginning knit on my home page. And I promise you, I take it probably as slow as anybody does on YouTube, because I know a lot of times you'll go to learn beginning knit and they're just like, oh, just do this, and you're like, what? So I take it very slowly. I show you where to put the hook, how to wrap it, how to pull it through and pull it off. I show how to do it very slowly, over and over again, and you can always replay the video. So definitely check out any of the videos, look at it for a while. It does take probably a day or so to get your hands in the in the groove of it. So there is going to be, anytime you learn something new, there's going to be a learning curve. Excuse me. So definitely, definitely check out those videos online. Okay. And another option is if there is a local yarn store near you that teaches knitting in the continental style. You don't want to learn to do the English or the throwing style. I mean, I'm not putting that down. I know a lot of people have learned that and they love that, and that's fine. But I think for a crocheter who's never learned to crochet, never learned to knit, the continental knitting style uses the muscle memory you've already got in your hands for yarn holding. It's a very, very easy transition. So that's why I emphasize that. Okay. Um, oh, wow. So from Alex, says, "Hi, Bonnie. I'm from Lancaster, but moved to Georgia recently. It's a quaint city with a rich historical area. If you have a chance, I would recommend visiting historical Strasbourg. You'll enjoy it." Yeah, thanks, Alex. Yeah, we live up in Maryland, which is just about 3 hours south of Lancaster, and have been there several times. Been to the Sight and Sound Theater, which is another. If you are going to the Lancaster area, I would highly recommend get some tickets to the Sight and Sound Theater. It's a fantastic experience. I can't even talk about it. It's so fantastic. Because it reminds me of my mom. But anyway, yeah, Strasbourg is really, really cool. Alex, I don't know if you were there back in the day. They used to have something called the Red Goose Hotel, which was, or a motel, and it was basically I guess a motel, but it was made up of all red cabooses. You would sleep in a caboose, and that's something I always wanted to do with my kids. And by the time our kids were big enough to try to do that for an overnight, they had a problem with the water pipes or something, and then it closed down and it never reopened. I was just sad about that, but that's also, I think, in the Strasbourg area. And I remember looking at that, and our kids got real excited. Of course, they were, like this high or shorter back in the day. But yeah, and it's really cool. That's also where a lot of Amish people live, and if you drive there, you have to be really careful because you'll see a lot of Amish horse-drawn buggies there. And if you've never been to Lancaster and interacted with the Amish people, another thing, just out of respect, don't take photos of them, or at least if you do, don't make it, just try not to take photos of them, because it's part of, you know their practice, their worldview. They really don't go for that. So I just mentioned that just to, a way to be kind and thoughtful of others. I know they get that a lot, and it's not real nice. So but thank you, Alex. I hope you're enjoying Georgia. I was down in Georgia recently, and it really wasn't that bad. The temperatures were really quite reasonable, which was great. Um, can you explain what the charities do that we support with the donations, please? Okay, yes. Okay, in a nutshell, Rancho 3M is a Christian school and orphanage. Children live there year round, and it supports helping take care of destitute kids and helps to educate some of the local people there. It's like I said, it's one of the poorest places that I have ever seen in the entire world, and this is just a compound that is. Uh, it's just a beam of light in a dark place, and they love these kids like they're their own. And oftentimes, a lot of people who have come through as orphans end up joining the staff and teaching the other children because they love it there so much. Um, Samaritan's Purse is a Christian organization, and they help by bringing relief of all sorts. Medical, they have a medical hospital that's in Ukraine. We have supported as to bring relief from the war effort. They oftentimes show up in places where tornadoes and hurricanes have torn through a community and just ripped it to shreds. And they come in bringing food, water, medical, anything that is needed. Even spiritual support and help. And what's the other? Shriners Hospital for Children. They care for, um, you can look that up, but they care for a lot of children with a lot of, like, birth defects or problems with, different things, for example, and they've been around for for a long, long time. My mother-in-law, who is 94, was a patient there, and they do not charge for their services. You maybe have seen commercials about them. They're the real deal. She was born, or shortly after birth, she contracted polio and almost died. They helped save her life, and they helped her with multiple surgeries on one of her legs. Bobby, our friend in the chat, has been to Shriners with his condition, and also my son's sister-in-law has also who has a mild form of cerebral palsy, has also been a patient with Shriners. And again, they do not charge for their services, and they take just about, I think, everybody that has needs. So it's really worthwhile organization. So that's what we are supporting. Um, wow, Mickey Waters says their mother-in-law taught them 45 years ago how to knit. Not sure what style they do or to do. Well, you know what, Mickey, if you don't know the style, then you probably don't have the muscle memory anymore. Maybe, and if you do crochet, I will say the way you hold the yarn is the same, whether you're knitting or crocheting with the continent when you're using continental style. So definitely take a look at the videos, and if you're on the YouTube platform and you want to slow down the videos, there is a way to do that if you find that the information is just going by too quickly. Um, there's a little gear-shaped icon, and I noticed that on the cell phone now that they also changed it. I can even show you since I'm not broadcasting from my phone. Um, they even changed this, which is kind of cool. Let's turn this off. Um, so let's see here. Let me go to my channel. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. Do you see the phone right there? That little tiny gear-shaped thing right there? If you click on that, it brings up a menu like this. And you see at the bottom, it says playback speed. You hit playback speed, and then it brings up an option, how to change. Okay, so if I'm really boring to you and you want to speed it up, you can hit one of the numbers down here. Okay, now, come on, thing. Now, if you want to slow it down, you can hit half speed or 75% speed or 25% speed up here, and that will slow down the video, so it'll be a lot slower. And that applies to all videos on the YouTube platform. And I think some other platforms may use that too. So that's something that you can do. You can slow it down and you can get it at the speed that you want. Oh, thank you, Hannah. So Arts a Mimosa de Rose, just sending out a thank you for putting Portuguese subtitles. Yes, you are so welcome. So just so for those of you who don't know, we do now pay for a translation service that translates a lot better than just just the regular stuff that comes across with no punctuation and no capital letters. I like reading my languages in English with proper punctuation. I guess maybe part of the homeschool mom in me, but also we are translating the English. We have that run through a translation service, but then my sister is also one of our contractors now, and she goes through the text, correcting the words, because oftentimes the algorithm doesn't know all the specific words to crochet or knit or whatever. So she goes through and she corrects that so that it's as good as it can get. And then we run that through the same service again, and we translate it into about 8 or 9 other languages, and Portuguese is one. Some of the others are Arabic, French, Italian, let's see, Portuguese, Persian, Spanish, Russian, and Turkish. Those are the languages that we're doing now. And we're doing those languages mostly because somebody, we wanted to, looking at our analytics, wanted to try to serve as the countries that are watching our channels the most, and as well as some people like from Turkey have reached out to me to ask for the Turkish titles, and somebody reached out to me to from Iran asking for the Persian translations and things like that. So it's like, yeah, we can do that. We just can't afford, since this is a cost thing for our channel. We can't just do all the languages because there are hundreds of them, and that would take a full-time office just to do that. But you're welcome, and if we're so glad to provide the Portuguese for her. Um, Good question from Randy. Does speeding up have any effect on your compensation from YouTube? No, I don't think it does at all. I wouldn't worry about that. No. It no, because I think the AdSense revenue is mostly based on the commercials, and even saying that, just skip them if you don't like watching them. It's not a problem. I do that all the time. So I mean, don't feel like you have to endure something you don't want to endure, just to serve me. I promise. I want you to have the best experience that you would like. And let me say this, I'll put a quick plug in. If you like to live in a world where there are no commercials and no spam, and people don't sell your email or cell numbers, and you end up responding to spam bots all the time, I do have a solution. I do have a subscriber base. It's a paid subscriber channel called watch.bonniebaycrochet.com. There is a link in the video description for this. And this is where there are some exclusive designs there that will not appear on the public channel. And some of them are not appearing in the public channel just because I don't want them to be stolen or copied immediately. And yeah, I've had that problem more often than I would like it to be a problem. So things that I really want to kind of protect for a little while, I keep on this channel. So, and you can still purchase the written pattern, which includes a video that you can watch, but it's only after a purchase has been made, and that generally tends to keep the the bad folks, the people that want to just do harm and steal away. So so some of the things that I'm going to be talking about and showing you as we go through the summer into the fall, not most things that I'm going to show will appear on my YouTube channel. There are a couple coming out that I still haven't decided if I'm going to go public with them or not. The poncho behind me will definitely be public. There's another one, the alpaca poncho, that I've worked on. I'm not decided on that yet. I may hold that only for my watch subscribers for a while, although the pattern will be available in my Lovecraft store and my Etsy stores for purchase. But again, it's just an attempt to kind of protect some of the more innovative stuff that I'm doing so that it doesn't immediately become copied and, sold down the river somewhere. So, or given away down the river somewhere. So if that makes sense to you. But thank you for sending me that question, Hannah. Good questions, guys. Oh yeah, Emily, no problem. I love to share what my friends are up to. Rennie says, hello, Bonnie. I'm currently finishing up your Celtic cable throw. I love it. I'm such a fan. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you like that one. Yeah, that's doing really well. I mean, that is, I think, getting close to 400,000 views, which is unusual because usually the things that look really hard kind of scare people away so they don't even click on it. But, whatever. That's just what we love to do here. Oh, wow. Nancy's hooked on crochet. So she's in South Florida for 8 years now. I'm originally from New York City. Yeah. It's kind of funny whenever you're on I-95, you see a lot of New York plates headed down to Miami or, heading down to Florida for the winter. There's a big contingency of New Yorkers down there. Yeah. That's great. Oh, thank you, Denise. She likes the yarn. And Martina is from Nashville. I'm going backwards a little bit in the chat here. Oh, thank you, Christy, for your support on the purchase of those books. I so appreciate that. And let's see. Yeah, okay. Oh, thank you, Anne, for your support on the watch channel. She says, I have that. Oh, or maybe it's the crochet world. Yeah, okay, that's great. You got a good son there if he's sending you subscriptions to crochet magazines. He knows how to make his mommy happy. Um, oh, thank you, Maria from Ireland. Wow, you are so sweet. I so want to go back to Ireland again. I just want to go there and just veg, for like a week in a house on one of the islands, the Aran Isles. Just kind of walk around and pet sheep, maybe ride a horse, and just chill. Um, okay, and getting back to the basket question, Sandra says I've used jute twine to make a regular basket with a handle. That's an idea. Um, and Kelly's talking about her use of cotton. All right. Beth, you're in the chat. I'm backing up, seeing all these comments. Hey, says, I hope you both are having a good day. Counting down to Pittsburgh. Yay! We're gonna have to go get a burger at the restaurant again. Beth, just have us. Just tell them to reserve a couple tables for us. We're coming after the classes are done. Okay, thank you for sending me stuff, Hannah. From Alex. Speaking of Persian, do you have a Persian tile tutorial by chance? No, I don't have one of those, Alex. You may want to just do a quick search on YouTube, and I'm sure there are others who do a lot more of that. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't do anything. I have done some of others' work, but that's just not been one of my stronger things to design. Okay, Ann Butler is going back to the dress and the top. This this one wants to know, are you going to do the pattern for the dress you are creating with the pink yarn too? Well, you can, the pattern is just written, the top stops, right about where top would stop, and you can just continue on in any yarn really for the dress and just continue it on down. No, I've decided to just make a top for the pink one. But oh, okay, I see what you're saying. The cotton dress, the cotton top. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna make that into a top because I like to, although we'll see how much yarn I have. I don't think I have enough yarn for the dress. I'm gonna be, keeping my fingers crossed that I have enough yarn in my stash on this just for the top. So, but that's a good question. Oh wow. So Anne, thank you for joining us. She says she's working on the Rahab scarf. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm so glad you're enjoying that. Yeah, she says finally able to join you on Friday live, but I guess the network is weak and so annoying. Oh, I know what that's like. Sometimes I've had to be in places where I broadcast with a slow internet. It's a little bit frustrating. And oh my goodness, is it Madhu from Sri Lanka? Wow, welcome. So glad to see you guys. I'm trying to get through everybody, just to see who's here so I don't forget anybody. Um, oh, Deborah Cresswell, thank you for joining us. She says she's missed for so long. Glad to be able to catch up with you today. And Grace says, hello, everyone. It's a beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know, Amy. She's asking, can you mix the twine with yarn to make a basket? You can always experiment. I mean, there's no rules that say you can't give it a try. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to try something out and it's just kind of, well, I'm going to rip this out. And quite frankly, that's the life of a designer is, well, doing it again. And so when I do a lot of these parody songs about ripping out is hard to do, and you're going to lose that hook, and all these songs, I'm not trying to be negative. It's just, you do a lot of ripping, or like our song about frogging, instead of free falling, we're here frogging, thanks to Tom Petty's tune. So yeah, it's okay. I mean, you can give it a try, and if you like it, go for it, and if not, You can rip it out. Oh, thank you, Sheila. She says, thank you for suggesting lamp shop kits to me for alpaca yarn. She's amazing to work with, and I have placed a custom order. Can't wait to receive the yarn. Yeah, Emily's a wonderful gal. You will not be disappointed. Got to be nice to her, though. She's a really nice girl, really nice woman. Um, and Kelly wants to know if I'm going to have a crochet class on the tutorials. No. I usually, when I teach classes in person, they're different than what you would find on YouTube. It's not a specific design, but it's more bringing things from different places and putting them together into a class. So, but that's a good question, Kelly. All right. All right. So I'm trying to catch up here. I don't want to leave anybody out, although I may have to because we're running short on time again. Um, yeah, let's see. Oh, thank you, Maria. I read that, but thank you again. All right, so I'm caught up to where I was. Yeah, Amy says, yeah, gonna just have to mess around and try them out. Yeah, that's that's part of the fun sometimes too. Um, if you like that kind of fun. And hey Dee, good to see you in the chat with us. And Marlena from Nashville. Wow. I was kind of close to Nashville about a week, about 7, 8 days ago. It was actually, where was I? Not I saw the signs for Nashville. I was going through another town, but cutting my way through Tennessee on my way down to Georgia. Um, all right. Doody doody doo. Yeah, Wanda says the pink and green yarn would be beautiful together. You know, they would. It's just that they're two different sizes on the yarn. But yeah, they would be because green and pink are complementary colors. They really do complement each other very well. That's a good eye for that, Wanda. Oh, thank you. Arts and Mimosa de Rose. Yeah, the nice yarn. And again, Archer and Ace, thank you for your love and your support. Looking forward to hopefully get to see you. Just continue to think about you. My thoughts and prayers, my friend. Um, all right. Oh, and let's see. I'm skipping down here. Oh, there's Brat's mom. She says, I'm not home right now, but I wanted to say hi to all my Yarny friends. I'll catch you on the replay. Well, I'm just catching your comment. Much more comments loading. Oh my goodness, you guys just show me so much love. You're so sweet. And again, Grace, thank you for your donation there. Um, and Josie says, I'm in California, won't be able to make it to your classes. Do you have any trips you could share for this crocheter who wants to learn to knit but find it so frustrating? Okay, I think we talked about that already. Yeah, yeah, check out those videos for sure, Josie. And you can always email me if you have questions. It's not the same as being there in person, but it's something. And Sandra loves the fact that Emily is working with her husband to dye this beautiful yarn. Yeah, I hope this picks up for you, Emily, because I'm always looking for, really nice yarn for, for things to keep my channel going and just to keep my fingers happy. And thank you again, Hannah, for all that you're doing. And Emily was saying how much they work together to Sandra, and we're a great team. I'm so glad you love our yarns. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah, Kelly says her dad used to donate money to St. Jude's. Yeah, it's a similar thing where St. Jude's handles cancer, Kelly, as you know, but cancer in children. But the Shriners is more of the orthopedic care. They do cleft palate surgery to help with kids, the smiles, the teeth, the all the working parts, legs, arms, artificial. They do all sorts of amazing things. All right. And Sandra says, music is in our world Two, music is a universal language. Animals love music and calms them down when they are nervous. Yeah, cool. Um, uh-oh. Deborah, take care of that thumb. She's dislocated my left thumb or something. Crocheting really hurts right now. Been doing some embroidery instead because it doesn't hurt as bad for some reason. I hope you feel better. Be careful. I have to watch my hands too because um, they're my work, they're my life really, and I have to be careful with them. And if I feel like things are being a little bit stressed, I feel free to kick back. There are ways that I can serve more at church. For example, we rent space and we do a lot of folding chairs and stacking them. And I've been there early to help set up because other folks weren't available and have set up 100 or more chairs. And then noticed that the rest of the week my hands were in pain. So I just take the freedom to, you know what? If I'm not doing it, somebody else will pick it up and do it because I'm not the only person there. And I certainly am not. So you have to kind of maybe lower your pride a little bit and just say, well, I trust God that somebody else will help with this. Or, maybe lifting hot boxes or carrying heavy things around the house. If your hands are bothering you, it's time to ask for somebody to help you. And I know I don't like to do that, but I've gotten real good at it now. And I think having three boys in the home has helped me because I've been able to call on them to help me with the heavy duty stuff, which I used to do all on my own. But now it's like I am trying to protect my ability to continue working. So in order to do that, to save my hands for what I really want to do with them, I ask for help. So, and it's okay. I hope you get some rest though. Don't push it with that, okay? And maybe see a doctor if there's somebody. I don't know if an orthopedic could help with that or not. All right. Um, Lynn, so good to see you. I'm finally getting to your comments. So glad to see you in the chat as always. You're such an encouragement, such a sunshine to our day. And Leslie Gates, good morning to you too. Um, Let me finish out here. Yeah, and Mickey Waters says, know how to slow down videos when working on learning Spanish. Had not thought to use this with crochet or knitting videos. Silly me. I've started to watch crochet videos in Spanish for exposure. That's a great idea. I would love to get better at Spanish. Um, I'm just going to add it to my list of things that I want to do, but I'm going to have to live to be 300 or 400 to do them all, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's a great. I never would have thought about using that for language. So thank you for that. I I am living in a one-dimension world when it comes to internet sometimes. You have a good weekend too, Susan. I hope yours is great. And all right, let me just. Oh, when so good to see you in the chat. From the yarn shop in Hagerstown. Hey, I saw all the activities that are coming up in July. It looked like a lot of fun there in Hagerstown, Maryland. So if anybody in near Hagerstown, Maryland, check out the yarn shop. They're going to be moving at the beginning of August, I believe, but I think they'll still be where they are now until the end of July, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong. But anyway, um, all right. Yeah, Josie about designing says, I've started designing and yep, I've had to frog a bag I'm working on 4 times. My fiance is an engineer and it drives him crazy. He always says, maybe we can find a way to salvage it. Oh, I look for ways to salvage my work, but yeah, if I'm doing it for you guys and it has to be right, it takes several tries sometimes, honestly. So yeah. Okay, great, Amy. Guess I got that question answered. Yeah, I hope you have a beautiful weekend too, Mickey. And okay, Marie says the Lynx and Baby Blanket book don't all work. Well, Marie, I think they do. And the reason I can say not to be corrective here, but they do work. It's just the problem with the old style before they came out with the QR codes is that you have to plug the link in correctly, and L's look like ones. Ones can sometimes look like L's to people. And if you ever need a link to anything in that book or any of the books that I sell that has links, to video tutorials, just email me, bonniebay@me.com, and I'll be glad to send you it. But yeah, they do work. They were quadruple checked, like checked 4 and 8 different times by different people other than me. When they're clicked on, they do work, but it's just a really hard transition to type it in if that's all you got. So that's why going forward in my newer publications, I have added QR codes in the beginner book. I added QR codes because you can just go right to the link. You can just use your cell phone, and if you have to, you can email, you know, the link from your phone to your computer if you need to, or just even hold it up to your computer to read the code. I think they can read QR codes. So yeah, I mean they are correct. And a lot of people, or some people, have gone online and say, "Oh, the links don't work to this book," blah 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 blah. They do, they do. It's just that you have to plug them in correctly. So yeah. So anyway, um, yeah, Deborah says about asking for help with the hands. I understand that for sure. I'm not good at asking for help, and I definitely take that advice. Yeah. Sometimes we have to humble ourselves and just admit we can't do it as much as we used to do. Yeah. Thanks, Deborah. Yeah, yeah. Uh yeah, so Marie, if you're having trouble with the link, just email me and I can send it to you. No problem. I do that occasionally when people have trouble with that. Well, let me go ahead. It's way past 1 o'clock, and I wanted to read something encouraging to you, something that's encouraged my heart this week. And I'm still doing my read through the Bible plan. For those of you who are, interested in doing such things, let me show you. I don't have the link in the video descriptions, but it's where is it? My thumbs. I'm all thumbs today. There we go. Because people will ask me this. This is a free download available online. This is the one that I use. There are many out there that you can use that are fine, that are not this is not like the only way to do it. I'm not one of those people that say, "Oh, there's just one version of the Bible that you have to read." That's not me. I've got so many different versions around here. It's pathetic. I mean, I've read from different versions throughout my life, and have benefited greatly from all of them. Uh, so, anyways, I was going to read from Psalm 62. This was something I read earlier this week. And I'm going to read just a short reading today, verses 5 through 8. And this just was where I was when I read this, and maybe this will be an encouragement to you. And this is written by King David. It's a psalm of his. And he writes, "For God alone, O my soul, wait in silence, for my hope is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be shaken. On God rest my salvation and my glory. My mighty rock, my refuge is God. Trust in him at all times, O people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us." So if you're looking for a refuge, um, check out the Holy Scriptures. Check out Psalm 62. And King David is one who was far from perfect. He brought some suffering upon himself by his own bad decisions, but he also did a lot of great things too. Probably like a lot of you out there. We make mistakes, learn from them, hopefully. And but anyway, I hope that encourages you this week. I look forward to seeing you next week. God bless. Bye bye.